Hello everyone, iPwnR here, and this is the 7 Days to Die tips and tricks video. We'll be covering some stuff on structural integrity, how to fill a hole up with water, and also how to jump 3 blocks high in certain situations. So we're going to start off with structural integrity. Now in real life, if you say we're to extend something out, like let's use some wood blocks here, and I know for a fact that if I extend out from here 7 blocks, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now if I extend it out one more, this is going to collapse. And so in real life, it might not be exactly the same distance that you can extend out with certain materials. Every material in 7 Days to Die is different. But in the real world, it's going to be similar, where eventually this is going to collapse, like so. Now the Romans figured out at some point that building an arch would help hold more weight over a greater distance because it distributes weight and, engineering, physics stuff. Yeah. So if you are a structural engineer or an architect, you will definitely know what I'm talking about. But what's really cool is in 7 Days to Die, it works the exact same way. So if we were to extend it out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is actually 7 blocks long. I'm just not counting this pole right here because this has direct ground contact. But these 6 blocks here don't have ground contact. And so if we were to add the 7th, it would collapse again. And it would be like the Twin Towers all over again. We don't want that to happen. Iraq doesn't want it to either. So what we're going to do is we're going to add a little bit of a diagonal slant right there to simulate an arch. And so now this is extending out 4 blocks, this top part here. So we can add 2 more. So once again, this is extending out 6, but now we've made it 8 blocks in a row where it doesn't have direct contact with the ground below it. And still, if we extend it out 1 more, it's a 7th block, so it'll collapse again. But as you can see, we can extend stuff out farther with arches. And so if we take this to the extreme, we'll make this a bit taller this time. Make it 6 blocks high. And we'll extend it out a little bit so I can build an arch. So we're going to make like a really big stinking arch right here. There we go. It just, as you can see, it kind of alternates like a upside down step. So this is extended out 2, so 3, 4, 5, 6. Now back, look at what we did. This block is the only thing holding all of this up, and this is with wood. All right, this is not very strong. So I think this extends out 11. Did some mental math there. I'm pretty good at that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Lots of counting. I'm sorry you have to listen to this, but gonna build that up. So we're gonna do the same thing on this side. And now we're gonna build our arch. And this is very nice for building your base. I mean, everyone does it their own way, but this is something you can incorporate into your build, or maybe if you want to make a big open doorway and it kept on collapsing and you don't want to put a support in the middle here, well, this is how you would do it. So look at that. That's a very, a very wide gap here. And so if we go up on top here and we start jumping on it in the middle, this is not going to collapse. Now, maybe you won't be able to add blocks on top of this without adding some support, but on its own, this is going to stand. You do not have to worry about it. So I'm going to drop down here, have the hay bales there for that, but I guess I'm not going to use them right now. Anyways, we can do this with other blocks too. This would work just the same as any of this would. The only difference is that it extends out 7 and the 8th block will collapse it, so it extends out 1 farther with reinforced concrete. But there's a different way you can do this, so we're going to extend out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now if we add 1 more, it's going to collapse. But say we don't want to make a massive arch like that, or this wall right here isn't tall enough to handle that. So what do you do in that situation? Well, what you would do is you would add another layer that extends out just to the point at which it would collapse if you add 1 more. So you basically double it, and then you add just 1 block right there. That's all it takes. And now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Your mind is probably blown. This went from being able to extend out 7 away to now it's extended out 14. You basically doubled it because this is 7 and this is 7. And then you've got this, so that's 15. So technically, what we could do, say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Does that line up? That does line up. Alright, so we're gonna try this on this other side. Do the same thing. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now when I count to 7, I'm not including this. Once again, I want to state that. And every block is different. You can extend different blocks out different distances, so if you're wanting to do this yourself, make sure you test it first. So, there we go. 7. What the hell? That's 30 blocks long, and it's connected on 2 ends, and there's nothing else supporting it. I probably just gave someone a seizure with all that mouse movement, but I'm sorry. You can send medical bills to me, iPwnR. Probably won't pay them, though. So this is totally structurally sound. I can walk on that. You can use it as like the top part of your wall and shoot down on people or zombies from up there. It's pretty cool. And you've got all this open room, and the only space you can't walk through are these 2 blocks. So you have 26 blocks wide where you can walk through. It's high enough up off the ground. So that's some structural integrity stuff for you. And one thing before I move on I want to say is if you have anything that you think would be good for one of these videos, if you have a tip or a trick that you think would be very helpful, you can feel free to put a comment in the video and I will look into it, I'll research it, and I'll make a video on it. I don't think I'm going to have 3 different tips in one video. I think I'm just going to make very short, like 2 or 3 minute long videos for each one and just do a bunch of them that way. That way it's split up, you don't have to watch the whole video or try to skip through it to find the part you want. So anyways, just getting that out of the way, and we're going to move on. Alright, so this next part, what we're going to do is we're going to fill a hole up with water like this. It's about 5, 6 blocks deep maybe. And in some previous videos showing a base design, I had a hole similar to this where I could jump off a roof and it was filled up with water, and I basically just fall down into here and the water would stop my fall. And some people asked me how in the world I filled up a hole like that with water, so I'm gonna show you. So this is a 2x2 hole, and it's about the same dimensions as it was in the video. Maybe it was like 1 or 2 deeper, but it's the same thing. So I actually have my inventory filled up with water. If you're gonna do this, I'd recommend having a good number of buckets and also a water source nearby. And so if you can see what I'm doing here, I'm basically just spamming the walls right here with water, and it's going to slowly fill up. It's going to take a while, but it will eventually work. Is there a way to like quickly drop these other than drag clicking? I guess not. Alright, here we go. Okay, so we're just gonna kind of work our way up here. Oh, that, whoa, okay. So that actually stayed. There we go. That filled up level. Alright, so basically just gonna put it in different corners, and eventually I promise you it will work. Just like spam different areas. It's literally all you do. And it'll go up bit by bit. And come on. Oh, it's gonna take too long. Alright. They keep dropping the buckets. This is very unprofessional, iPwnR. It's not like I'm PewDiePie or anything. Come on, calm down. I'm not Niga Higa Productions yet. Alright. Jesus. So, yeah, usually you'd use like a ladder or something and kind of look down in it. I just took water out. Hope that didn't matter too much. I'm gonna try to, there we go. Yep. Alright, so you see how there's like this waterfall right here, or this, I don't know what you call it, like it's just uneven, it's running water, and so you probably are gonna want to get rid of that, and it's making rushing water noises as you go by. We used less than 3 rows of buckets of water, so that means we used less than 24 buckets. We used about 20, I think. So 20 buckets of water there for that size of a hole. And anyways, next I'm going to show you how to get rid of that stupid waterfall, and to do that, you just quit, and then you come back in. Don't mind that name. It's cut off. It's kind of like a play on words. It's a joke or a pun, but I cut it off, so it just says tips and yeah, I'm not gay, all right? So just don't even worry about writing that comment. Stop typing that comment. Don't type faggot, all right? Just go away. So there we go. You don't see any more rushing water. Yeah, and it's a little bit weird, I guess, with this corner piece. The water doesn't know what to do, so there's just like a little hole that you can look through. Anyways, if you jump in, it takes a while to sink down in water like this, but there's water all the way to the bottom, and this will stop your fall. So if I were to jump from that hospital roof down into... Wait, I can do that. I can try. I can try, and I will probably fail, but at least I tried. You can't say iPwnR's a pussy. Oh god. Geronimo! Oh! Oh. Alright. Going to the next part. Alright. Lastly, we have jumping over a 3-high wall. So right here, if we look through, maybe there's like there's probably an AK-47 back there and every single schematic in the game. So we're gonna try to find a way to get over this wall. You can't jump over it. Can't really go through it. You don't want to break it through. And you have your friends standing here doing nothing, being a useless piece of shit. So what do? Well, it's obvious. You Goomba stomp his head and jump over. Whoa, that actually worked. Okay. Uh, let's get the AK. So yeah, that's how that works. And I got greeted as soon as I got over the wall, so that's very nice. I appreciate that. And then you get your stuff that you wanted, or like check the loot. Maybe it wasn't an AK, it was just another piece of moldy bread. But you can come right back up over the wall. I added that stuff, so in this case you would just jump back over on this edge. And then you can go yell at your useless friend for being useless. Who knew that was a tongue twister? I didn't. Anyways, you can do this for like junkyards, scrapyards. It works for a lot of different things. And if you're into PvP, you can use it to jump over the wall of someone's base. You could technically make a tower of people. If you had 4 friends, you could have one guy for the first jump and then have 2 guys standing on, or like one guy standing on top of another person's head and then jump up onto that guy and then jump up again, and then that way you could jump up a 5-block wall, which is pretty crazy. And the genius he is, he's figuring out how to get through this wall. So moving on to the last part, which is me saying goodbye. So thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Like I said, if you have any tips that you would like to submit, just put them in the comments, and I will see you in the next video.